If you are engaged or you are in a committed relationship, do you expect you and your partner to always do the same things? And if one is more the homeboyish type, Netflix and chill with probably a bag of chips and some chocolate, aka the best ever combination, while the other one wants to go out, wants to go dancing, wants to go partying, does it mean that you are a mismatch? What about in general? Let's say that you are settled, but you crave that night out. Does it mean that you are not really committed? If you're committed, if you're serious, if you are in a union, why would you need to go out and live life like a single person? When is craving something different than your partner? And in this case, even going out, just a normal thing? And when is it pointing to something else? How far is Carrie willing to go to preserve that version of single Carrie in some way? Even if it's just putting her engagement ring around her neck.
It's closer to my heart this way.
You know how we do it here. We narrate, we analyze, we often judge. And yeah, we do believe that we know better and would do better. Hopefully. Carrie and Aidan have finally gotten the permission to start setting up the apartment next door.
Those floors next door, they were in worse shape than yours.
And while Aidan is coming from another day of work, Carrie wants to go out and have dinner at this hip restaurant.
Town, period. Supposed to be amazing. Exclamation point.
The only thing that sounds perfect for Aidan right now is a hot shower, laying in bed,
Watching a game, bucket of KFC, mashed potatoes, biscuits.
Carrie is confused. What does he mean? It's Saturday night.
But it's Saturday night.
His finger looking good.
It feels a little bit weird to her, but you know what? If Carrie wants to go out, Carrie will go out. So she calls her girlfriends and they are gonna partay.
We're going out. Who's on the phone?
All of us. It's the future.
Oh, stop judging. All of us have been in this situation before. You know, one of you wants to go out, the other one wants to stay in. And obviously, the best solution is if the other person changes their mind and goes with you, okay? We all know that secretly, we all want that to happen, right? Sure, maybe we won't say it. Sure, maybe we will say, babe, you know what? If you want to go, just go. But deep down, what we really desire is get whatever we want, huh? I know. Welcome to my toxic trait. I'm not saying it's right. Clearly, I'm a little bit delulu. And that's okay. Sometimes we can admit, right? But when I would be a little bit more openly upset and I would be like, you want to go out again? Is precisely that again part. If I feel like that we haven't really spent any time together and I want that one night to stay in, to do something a little bit more just between the two of us, while my partner always wants to go out and it's always how they want to do, then I would be like, we need to reevaluate, okay? Or the opposite, right? If my partner wants to go out and I'm always like, no, I want to stay in, I don't feel like it, let's just be here together, just the two of us, like nothing else in the world exists, then again, we should reevaluate. I need to check myself a little bit. Sometimes for the good of partnership, you also do the things that maybe you don't feel like doing, right? Now and then, right? If for 4 nights we didn't do anything together and he really asked me to do something together, like going out or whatever, then I'm going to get my ass up and do it. And vice versa. I guess I totally exposed that in our relationship, I'm the homeboyish one. Is homeboyish even the right expression? At the end of the day, how I see it, it's all about balance. And right now, what we see between Carrie and Aidan, it doesn't look like this is a pattern. It doesn't look like this is a recurring thing. And this is now the 5th time this happened. So it's pretty normal. And I love that Carrie decided to go out with her friends. Because people, there is another thing lurking underneath it all. The dangerous thing that can take over your life. When you have the belief that if you're not doing something with your partner, then you should not do it at all. Then what is even the point? And let me tell you, oh, I've seen it. I've seen it with my two eyes when people do that. When they have this, I don't know, some kind of conviction that unless they can experience something with their partner, it's not worth to doing it on their own. And I like that Carrie is not like that.
I say we go dancing.
I'm in.
Let's go dancing.
Okay, I know exactly where we should go.
The most problematic thing is if you want something, your partner never wants to join in on that thing, and then you yourself also deny that thing forever and ever and ever. And then what happens? Suddenly you start resenting your partner for you not experiencing anything in your life. And you're like, oh, it's your fault. I've never seen that museum. Okay, museum is maybe not the right thing, but you know what I mean. The girls go out and they go to this hip, crazy gay club.
I feel like we don't belong here. That's because we're wearing shirts.
They are partying, but there is someone who recognizes Carrie. It is Mr. No, it's not Big. I just said it's a gay club. Do you really think Mr. Big will be there?
Dirty martini for the lovely and talented Carrie Bradshaw.
Thank you.
It's a fan. His name is Oliver, and he is so excited to see Carrie because he's been visiting New York, and the thing that helped him navigating the scene is her freaking column. Yes, biz, Carrie is famous.
Oh, Oliver, you're a dead man. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
They have a little exchange, and he also noticed that Carrie is engaged. Now, what does that mean for him? What? How will he survive this world without her column?
You can't go off the market. You're my dating guru.
I'm still allowed to see other gays.
Is this the first step of Carrie struggling with her identity as an engaged woman versus the fun single exploring New York City, trying to give advice but miserably failing in dating columnist? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I'm engaged.
Now, Carrie comes home and she is feeling it. You know, she is in the mood. People, she was just outside. She was surrounded by half-naked, muscular men. And now she wants to climb on top of her man. Even though the homeboy is in a little bit of a different position, okay?
I ate too much chicken, I think. You rub my belly, baby.
And yes, I was cracking up, you're cracking up, but you know who isn't cracking up? Carrie. Which is kind of a missed opportunity. Can you imagine you coming home, you are yes, and your man is like stuffed and he's like, can you rub my belly? I would start cracking up so much. But I guess, that's not the vibe that they're having. The vibe is another mismatch.
I felt like I had spent the evening in a Calvin Klein ad, and now I was back to baseball, buckets, and BVDs.
It's the next day, and Carrie is having lunch with this new friend. One conversation leads to another, and we're talking about monogamy. Now, this guy, Oliver, he is actually in let's say, an open relationship with his partner. So meaning they're together, but they can step out of the relationship with certain rules. Carrie, on the other hand, well, she is an engaged woman. And Oliver makes it a point to, reference that ring again.
I don't expect to get everything from one man, but I guess I shouldn't be saying this to someone wearing a ring.
Now, this makes Carrie feel a little bit like, Mister, why are you so hanged up on my ring? Like, calm down. It's just a ring.
What's with you in this ring?
What's with you in the ring?
Carrie doesn't even mention the guy. Like, who is he? And Carrie's like, he's Aiden.
He's very tall and incredibly kind and handsome.
True love, bitches. The new friend is a little bit snarky or a little bit, how do you say? He's a bit provocative. He's like, so how come you left him at home Saturday night? He wanted to eat chicken and watch sports. What's the girl Tatalia?
Oh, he would have made my dad so proud.
Oh, people, there are so many things I want to talk about this scene and everything that is happening. Let's start with the ring. Carrie's comment of how this guy is fixated on this ring.
Hello, what's this? but I guess I shouldn't be saying this to someone wearing a ring.
And you could say that, it's just a normal question. Of course, if she is talking about dating guys and now she's not going to date anymore, like where is her writing career going, right? But on the other hand, it could be just a little bit projection from his side. I mean, he is in an open relationship. He likes to dip out now and then. So seeing someone so committed, someone even that he is seeking for guidance when he's, lurking around, that doesn't feel right, could trigger that. But as much as it could be just him projecting, sometimes people are just a little bit rude. Okay? Sometimes people just want to say certain things to make you feel a certain way or to try to make you feel a certain way. I've experienced this myself, and let me know in the comments below if you experience it, in your life. When someone would make like a snarky comment about, in my case, it was about my partner, and it was almost like this comment, them expecting that we are gonna gaga together or something. Again, I don't know if that's an expression. It felt right. And I was looking at this man and I was like, boy, calm down. And I just don't like that. And that's the vibe that this guy is giving me. The way he's like pointing at Carrie and at the ring and being all like snarky, it's almost like he wants her to feel a certain type of way. Some people know how to, give those comments and hoping that it will make you feel some type of way. And voila. That's exactly what happens to Carrie. The second he mentions the ring again, she gets all about, why are you looking at this ring so much? When the question is, Carrie, Missy, why are you so worried about the fact that he's looking at your ring? Wouldn't you expect her to, being excited about the thing? And not just because they ask you for the second time, now you're already, why are you asking me about this ring? So that was kind of interesting to me. And I do have a theory behind it, but we'll get to that, okay? I need to make a story. Otherwise, I'm going to talk too much without any clips and people will get mad at me. So let's now go to the second part. What is it about Carrie not being able to describe Aidan anything than handsome, tall, and kind? Like he's a waiter that she was just nicely served and she's explaining to her friend about. And somehow I know that what I said just now is not appropriate either. Why would you describe a waiter like that? But hopefully you get me. Now, clearly what we all thought when we saw that was like, oh my God, she does not love him at all. But we like to play the devil's advocate, okay? We like to check things from different perspectives. And there could be a simple answer that the bitch does not know this man truly, okay? She just met him. Why would she now need to explain who her fiance is? How is he like, as though she needs to, justify to him in some kind of way? Carrie might very well feel like, I don't feel like that close to you. Like, why are you even asking me about this, right? Maybe Carrie herself is the type that has a little bit difficulties expressing herself, expressing what is she actually feeling. And it doesn't mean that she doesn't love Aidan. Now, is it suspicious that she's a writer? Yes, it is. But still, there are people who find it difficult to express how they feel about someone. And instead of this being a red flag or a sign for something, it can just be a communication style, let's say, or lack there of it. Now, if we focus on the red flag, the thing that we all kind of thought when we were looking at this and knowing Carrie's history, if she really isn't able to come up with anything else beyond what she said, beyond these surface level things,
He's very tall.
then it might show that she herself doesn't really have clarity. Why is she with Aidan? What is the thing that actually separates him from other people? It could very well be that she's not really sure why exactly is she with him. Like, the engagement is just the normal next step type of thing. Or maybe it's almost an avoidance thing where she doesn't really think about or doesn't want to really go into why exactly is she engaged to Aidan, because she doesn't really she's not really 100% sure that this decision is really the right decision. So she just wants to avoid even thinking about it. We do not have to explain ourselves or prove our relationship to other people if we don't feel comfortable about it. If we're more of a private person, or even if we're not good at actually expressing it. It's the time and place type of it all. But if it's something that you truly struggle with, then I would kind of sit down and I would try to think about, well, what is going on here? Why am I struggling with expressing why this person is for me? Am I actually actively in this partnership, or is it all just, by design type thing? I would say it is a little bit of a sign. It is something to think about. If you never are able to express why a certain person is your person, why do you actually love them, and it's always the surface level things, maybe you're not really that connected. Maybe you didn't ever really focus on actually knowing this person and being with them for that reason. And it's all based on seeking validation, based on certain status, based on the timeline. Then I would try to understand why. Like not knowing how to express it or not knowing why, that's the difference. Now, you know how Carrie is. Every time she is faced with some different understanding or some challenge in her life, she gets to thinking.
Later, I started to think about restlessness and relationships.
And this new friend and these differences between the staying at home with Aiden type thing versus going out and having fun makes her start questioning.
Once we found what we've been searching for, why are some of us reluctant to let go of our single selves?
Look, it can be just a normal reaction. We grow up with this idea of stages in our life, right? You are a child, you are a teenager, you are a student, you are a young adult, you are single, you are married, you are divorced, or even if we go outside the relationship and your stages of growing, I guess. You are successful or you are retired. It's almost like this is an era of your life and it means something. It means that what was before and what's coming up next doesn't exist. This is just the time that you have right now and it will pass. When you are single, the fact that you start dating someone or you even get married, it's almost like that life has ended and now I need to step into another version of me. And that can very much be a little bit scary, a little bit triggering, a little bit, what in the evolution are we talking about here? Why do I need to let go that part of me if I want to be with someone else? I actually talked quite extensively about the stages of life in the substance analysis that I did. And if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. And not because I did an awesome job, which hopefully I did, but because the movie was awesome and it had so many messages. And one of them was also this idea of I'm one thing now and I'm another thing later, rather than being a development, or rather than being some kind of fluidity in our stages, let's say. So also for Carrie, right, being now engaged, it does trigger that worry about, am I losing that part of myself?
We're all going. We have to shake things up before we officially become boring.
And sometimes we almost want to prove it wrong. No, I'm not. I can still go and do these things. The trick is, the very harsh reality is, and it's a little bit silly when you actually understand it, is that there is nothing to prove. Because the whole idea of being one thing or being another thing, or that you are forced into something, is stupid, is flawed. It actually does not exist. It's a construct of society, how they told you should behave in a certain stages of life. And I think that today we are already enough self-aware that, it's not so black and white. There are natural changes that happen. And some people genuinely, when they go from a single life to relationships, they completely change. They start having different interests. They start spending their time differently. And look, it can be totally okay as long as it is not something that you do because you feel like you have to do. As long as it's not a thing that it's been pushed on you, and now because you are adult, you need to act differently. It can very much be that you're just changing because your needs are changing, what you want to experience in life is changing, and that's okay. And on the flip side, there could be couples that nothing changes at all. But again, it is only healthy if the no change is because that's the natural thing, and not because you want to prove something, not because you're desperately holding to something, because if you let this go, what will this mean about you? And now we're going to go back to the ring thing and how Carrie is reading all of this. Like, why did she get so fazed by the fact that he was asking her about the ring, even though it was 2 times?
What's with you in this ring?
What's with you in the ring?
Him pointing that out is actually pointing out at this idea of an era has ended or a new era is starting. So how will this new era go together with the old era? Or how will this new engaged Carrie clash with the single Carrie? And we do know that Carrie does have challenges when it comes to feeling independent while still being in a relationship. So this just triggers that. So when he points out the ring the second time, now she feels like her identity is attacked again because she's here having lunch with this guy and it's all about fun and party and getting into exclusive places and this single dating type of vibe, right?
Could you be more fantastic?
And he reminds her, you have the ring on your hand. And for Carrie, that could be almost like now she can't exist anymore as the Carrie she was, because there's another thing, and in this case, a commitment, settling down with a guy that is also there. So it's not so much about him pointing it out 2 times, it's more about him reminding her and triggering that aspect of, shit, can I be anything else, or am I now just gonna be all the time seen as the engaged Carrie or married Carrie? And am I actually ready for that? It's almost like she does not want to now be seen as someone who is engaged, someone who is committed, when in this very moment, she was enjoying that she's being admired as this, the iconic Carrie. And that might be also the reason why she couldn't really even express why she loves Aiden or why is she with Aiden, and it was all surface level, because in that moment she wasn't battling with what does she actually feel towards Aiden. She was battling more with the potential reality of her never existing anymore as a single independent Carrie. If she will still be the same person, or will she change? And then if I go even further, the fact that she seems bothered by him mentioning the ring, it's almost like she wants to separate the 2 things. She wants to be her independent self, Carrie self, who is enjoying going out, who is enjoying this life, who is this sex columnist, right? Iconic and fashionable and so on. And then at home, she can be the settled down, cuddling in Aiden's embrace, engaged Carrie. And on some level, it might trigger her because he is reminding her that maybe she cannot have the 2 separate things forever. Maybe on some level, those things will overlap. And what will that actually mean? Is she ready to face what will that actually mean? And that's also a question Carrie has.
Why does becoming part of a couple imply settling down?
And that's the thing. It does not. It doesn't. There are a couple variations, right? What happens? You and your partner like doing the same thing, so you'll just continue to do the same things. Nothing will really change, I guess. I personally don't really believe in that. I believe that some things will change, but I do believe that they change naturally. They change because your needs in some way change. I'm going to take an example of dancing, going dancing. Look, if you are single and you start going social dancing, it could be because you really like dancing, you really love dancing, but it could also be because you like dancing, but the main part is the social part. The main part is meeting someone. But then you might meet someone in these dances, in dance classes, and you might hit it off. And suddenly you don't go to dance anymore. Now, does that mean that oh my God, you neglected the dancing and now you're not going out anymore. And this is wrong. Oh, this is sus. What if the whole point of going to dancing was like I said, the social aspect. And when you meet someone, you don't have that desire anymore. Neither of you has it. And you find other ways of having fun. You find other hobbies. Maybe dancing wasn't even that crucial thing from the get-go. It was just a fun thing to do, a thing to go, like to have a night out. Sometimes we judge things because we are stuck in this, oh, if you let go something that you liked as a single, but now you don't do it anymore, oh, then it means that there's something wrong. Is this person changing you? Are you letting everything go for a relationship? The only question that matters is, are you good? Do you feel like you're missing out of something? And if those are no, and you feel good and everything is good, and you find other ways to hang out and so on, then that's okay. The problem is when you start letting go of things or you start behaving in a different way because that's what is expected of you. Because that became some hidden rule that everyone should follow. If you're a certain age, you shouldn't be clubbing anymore. It's weird seeing you out, right? Shouldn't you be at home baking? That's when it becomes problematic. When we allow the narratives of society to drive our life. And it makes us miserable. Now, why would you want to be miserable just because someone said that you shouldn't do what you want to do? You know what? Show up for yourself. Do what feels right for you. And that's it. Period. And if it means change because you want that change. Because you maybe fulfilled certain needs and now there are other needs that you want to fulfill and things change.
Maybe Oliver does have the key in that we shouldn't expect to get everything from one man, but instead feel comfortable getting different things from different people.
Yeah. So, people, I know you heard about it. I know you thought about it. Should you expect everything for one person, or you will get fulfillments from different people, and that's okay? I'm gonna give my 2 cents on it. I think it is very subjective. And the first thing, it depends, what do you want in a partnership? What are your expectations? And I think those should be fulfilled. Now, if your expectation is a little bit toxic and you're like, if my partner is not going to fulfill A, B, C, D, E, F, G, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, Q, I'm going to stop. I'm not talking about you wanting your partner to be a robot that will do everything you want to do and fulfill everything you need to fulfill and blah, blah, blah. I'm just talking about normal things. You know, you have couples and relationships where people want to be both romantic partners as best friends. Even though there is this idea that your partner shouldn't be everything and you should get different things from different people, if I value talking to my partner about, deeper things, or gossiping, or just having long conversations, or just having this best friend vibe, and I don't have it, then I will always feel like there's something missing in the partnership. And if someone tells me, well, you shouldn't expect everything, like you have these other things that are very good, I could even play myself, lie to myself, and say, well, you know what? That's true. I shouldn't feel like it's missing that we don't have long talks because, there are other things that it's good. Like we click well when it comes to, traveling, organizing, planning, taking care of things, supporting each other. The reality will be always that I will feel like something is missing in the partnership. Because that is my value. That is my expectation. If I like traveling, I mentioned this, I gave this example so many times, but it's the easiest. If I like traveling, but my partner does not like to travel at all, they don't even want to leave their state or like nothing, then I could say, well, you know what? All of the other things are clicking and it's okay if I travel on my own. But the real question is, am I okay to travel on my own? Or is that something that I want to share with my partner? And if the answer is, I want to share this with my partner. Like, this is a huge part of my life. And I feel like we should have this experience together because it brings us together. Whatever the reason is, telling myself that it's okay if I don't get everything from this partner when I'm clearly missing out on a crucial thing, it's a toxic advice. And that's what I think the problem becomes. When people use this, oh, your partner shouldn't be everything, as a way to minimize the actual need that they have, or even to kind of manipulate themselves or dismiss that there is a huge part that it's missing, which actually is relevant for how loved will you feel in the relationship, just to stay in a relationship. I will accept that they are not this and this and this, even though I want this and this and this in the partnership, because, at the end of the day, your partner can't be everything. When we want to fulfill that not being alone or staying in a relationship and a partnership, we're going to take advice that it's supposed to be a general advice, and we're going to use it to serve our needs or to serve our justifications for things. But sometimes it ain't good. Now, as Carrie said, but where is the limit?
Although at what point do separate interests become separate bedrooms?
And for me personally, well, clearly when you are living totally separate lives. Again, this is based on my perception or what I want in a partnership. And I am the type of person who wants to share with my partner. So for me, if I see like we are doing totally different things all the time, we're living totally different life, that for me would just not work. It turns into emotional distance and then we separate. Then maybe you have people who live totally separate lives because their version of partnership is something else, and they have that. They also have their separate lives and it works for them. The second thing is, if you start living a separate life because you're actually avoiding the life that you have with this person, or you avoid this person. So you consciously plan things separately. You consciously plan to have something totally different. Now, this could even develop in stages, right? It could start as a very simple thing. Oh, today I start doing these things. I start going to the gym while my partner goes hiking. That's the first separate thing that we do. And then it might continue. And suddenly you feel like we don't actually have anything in common together. If you're with someone and you always do separate, but you never put in the effort to actually do something together, for me personally, that would be a little bit worrying. Luckily or strategically, if you date with intention, my partner is the same. So it's almost naturally we will find something to do together. We will find something to fulfill also that time just between the two of us. And that's also what she shares with her friends.
Aiden loves to stay in, and I love to go out. And he's fine with that. It's either the greatest relationship ever, or we're headed
for separate bedrooms like me.
Now, it is another night, and Carrie is getting ready to go out. Aiden is back from, I guess, working on the other apartment, and he's kind of like, oh, where are you going?
I told you yesterday I was going out.
You didn't say you were going all out.
She has an exclusive opportunity to go to an exclusive club, the kind where you need a key for it. And Oliver has the key.
I have to see Bungalow 8.
Oh yeah, what's that, a play?
No, it's a very hot club.
And as she's getting ready, our Miss Carrie also finds a way to be both.
For my single self and my couple self to coexist.
And her way of doing that is taking the engagement ring off her wedding ring or finger ring and putting it on a freaking necklace. Yes, Biz. She took her engagement ring and put it on a necklace, because that's what you do with the ring that is a representation of your commitment to Aiden. Now, Aiden notices this ring, and yeah, it's a little bit sus.
What's going on here?
It's just something I'm trying. It's closer to my heart this way.
Bitch. Do not even. I would take it much worse than how Aiden did. Aiden is coping. Can you imagine? The man has been cheated on. Honestly, he's pushing Carrie in this new relationship, or he's trying just to commit to her or show her that he's committed. Like I said, starting with her again after the betrayal means that he is really into this. And the woman puts the ring, the sign of commitment, from her finger on her necklace. Like, can you imagine? Like, the poor man. Now, to be honest, we can see on Carrie's face that she's also a little bit uncomfortable. Like, it's clear that she knows that this might be a little bit weird, right? That what will he think about it? But Carrie's focused on Carrie, and it's about her feeling good. It's not about the relationship. It's not about the partnership. Can you imagine if Big would do something like that? If Carrie would gift him a watch and he would go out with his friends and he would put that watch in his pocket somehow. Bis.
Who are you going out with, the girls?
Oh, this guy, Oliver Spencer?
A guy?
He's gay.
Oh, cool.
She won't be cheating, I guess. Aidan is actually up for going out tonight. He's gonna hop into the shower, and if Carrie wants, he can join. But there's a little bit of a pickle right here. Yes, hey.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he can get us both in.
Now, Aidan is rolling his eyes because, again, another exclusive thing. And honestly, he's like, this is such a bullshit. Like, why are you even falling for these things? Oh, a club that no one can get into. So now I desperately want to get into. And he's just mocking the whole situation.
A key? Give me a fucking break. Come on, Carrie, a key. Why do you even buy into that shit?
He even suggests that maybe she should ditch Oliver and it could be just the two of them.
Let's just go out to dinner. I haven't seen you all week.
Carrie can't. She agreed to go with Oliver and Aidan gives up. Okay. Whatever, Carrie, go out, have fun, but take your key with you.
Because, we're very exclusive here and we might not let you back in.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about this ring situation. We could say, of course, on some level or underneath it all, maybe there is this, struggle as we talked so far between the independent Carrie, what parts of her identity will she lose, and this idea that if I settle, then it means that by default, I need to become someone else, and how that is driving her. But on another level, the fact that she's been so impacted by just what this guy was saying, to the point that now she's putting her ring on the necklace when she goes out with this guy. To me, it does look like she is desperate to get that external validation. She is desperate in some way to show to this guy that, no, I am who I am, right? I am this fun girl and we can hang out and be fun together. She wants to be seen as fun and wild and iconic. And putting the ring on her necklace, it's almost like a subtle way of downplaying that label of being engaged. Because in her mind, she cannot be both. Or if she is engaged, will she lose the other part? And how does she feel about losing the other part? So the fact that she does it and the fact that she doesn't openly talk to him about it is shady. It's, again, very driven by maybe the fear of losing herself again, which again shows her attitude towards Aidan and towards the whole partnership. It's separate from what she's going through. Now, the fact that Aidan suddenly offered that he wants to go out with her, there could be a couple of things that were driving this. I mean, the first thing is clearly that he just wanted to go, okay? Why not? The second thing is the fact that he found out that it's not with the girls, but it's with the guy. Plus the fact that she put her ring on a necklace. It could be a little bit of a protective thing. It's almost like, well, this made him feel like maybe I should go out with her. Maybe I should be a part of this world of hers. Now, when it becomes a little bit tricky, in my personal opinion, is when he almost starts to convince Carrie to stay in with him because he didn't see her for a week. Because then I'm like, are you saying that just because she's going out now and suddenly you have this desire, you see the ring, or because you genuinely want it? And it is so very easy to see Carrie as the bad guy because she rejected him.
Can't. Told Oliver.
Oh, all right.
But if you really think about it, she told him about it the night before, like the day before, and he forgot it. Also, him mocking this whole situation all the time. Every time Carrie mentions exclusive clubs or exclusive restaurants, and she's excited about it, he is looking at it as, which is also not good. Like, he is also neglecting who she is. And maybe that's also the reason why Carrie is struggling so much with seeing that she can be both. Because, well, Aidan is not even acknowledging that other part. So he knew that she's going out. And now suddenly he's like, oh, I've been missing you. I haven't seen you for... Boy, where were you yesterday? Why didn't we agree on something yesterday? Huh? Why didn't we say, okay, let's maybe the next day plan something together after this? Because I already made plans. Because she already made plans with someone. And like I said, as much as we could say like Carrie is a bad guy because she's doing all of this, I wouldn't say that Aidan is also handling this the best. Because it's also a little bit shady, okay? It feels a little bit manipulative, though I could understand why. It's still not okay. And he's still mocking her. So, he also needs to reevaluate. Now we see Carrie meeting Oliver, and as they are walking towards the club, Carrie is sharing that she's feeling a little bit guilty.
See, now I feel bad. I basically discouraged him from coming.
Now Oliver suggests that, well, we can call him, he can come. But Carrie's like, no, it's so not like his scene. And Oliver has an advice. She should break off with him.
You have to break it off. This is bungalow 8, darling.
Because that's how you do, right? You're a stranger, you're meeting someone, and you just give them their life advice. Though, am I doing the same? But the main thing here is the thing that is making us roll our eyes and making sure, like being careful not to lose them in the back of her head, is the fact that Aidan could join. There was space. Oliver could get him in, but Carrie lied. Carrie did not want Aidan there. Yes, she felt bad about it, but at the end of the day, she made a choice. Now, again, as we talked before, the problem with Carrie is, can I be both? And right now, it seems that Carrie does not see that at all. She is or engaged or she is this single Carrie. And Aidan coming out with her, it's not really, it's not really the vibe. He will remind her of that settled part, which she doesn't want to accept right now. But then, if I pair it with the fact how Aidan constantly mocks Carrie, I can also understand and see why she would say no. If you are with someone who repeatedly mocks your ways of entertainment or what you like to do, or that you're a fashionable girl, or that you like to go to exclusive places, or that you enjoy certain crowds and so on, like, why would you want them with you? Like, it just makes you feel, it just ruins the whole thing. Like, imagine you invite someone to go to watch a movie and that person goes with you to watch a movie and they bitch about it all the time. And I feel called out because sometimes I watch movies that my partner likes and I cannot shut up. I'm going to work on that. As much as we can say, oh my God, Carrie doesn't love Aidan, I think it's also a reflection of how Aidan treats this part of her life and what it manifests in. That she just doesn't feel comfortable even sharing it with him. Then again, does this mean a good partnership? No, of course it doesn't. It means that both of them need to figure their shit out. They finally get into the special club in this fabulous setting. But Carrie is feeling anything but fabulous. You see her plus one, Oliver, he is occupied with every gay person there and he barely gives any attention to Carrie.
Ollie, is there anything to eat at Bungalow 8 or is food so very last year?
Even when she asks him something, he just ignores it. So she is over it. She is like, Biss, did I really come here for this? She's ready to go, but Oliver runs after her and he's like, no, don't go. And she's like, look, Oliver, look, Ollie.
I left a gorgeous man at home to come here and be your date.
And what do I get? You ignoring me. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, chill. You, Missy, are not now gonna flip that Oliver made you leave Aidan, the gorgeous man, at home and you didn't even want to be. Peace. That was so, how do you say? Projecting, deflecting, flipping the scenario. But you know how it is. Whatever makes her feel good. And right now, what makes her feel good? It makes her feel good that she finally realized that all of this clubbing and this scene is just, it's not what she actually needs. She just needs Aidan. And she goes back home.
Honey, I'm home. The most exclusive clubs only have a couple members, and they're very hard to find.
And I'm like, really, Carrie? Really, Carrie? Now, let me be fair. It could be a way of growth. Sometimes you need to do things, you need to experience shit to learn what you're really missing out on. Kind of, right? Her going out thinking that this is it and then being faced with that this is not really it and what is it is at home and appreciating that, look, we are all human. We need to learn in different ways. Okay. But then is the part when it's like, we know Carrie, okay? It's not like we don't know this person. And we could very much say that this is another pattern when it comes to Carrie and Aidan and her needs being met. You see, when she didn't get the validation with Oliver, with being the single Carrie, boom, now Aidan is okay. Now this engaged life is perfect. Just because I didn't get what I wanted here. Not because I get what I want here, but I still prefer this one. No. It's because this didn't fulfill me, so now I'm gonna go there. It is another, to me personally, this is just another example where Carrie wants to do things separately from Aidan, but then that is not fulfilling, and then she goes back into the arms of Aidan. Then Aidan is okay. And that's what I think keeps her in this stuck cycle. Because if we think about it, the fact that he was bashing this lifestyle of her, the fact that she was struggling with, letting go and merging the two, and now this lifestyle was kind of bad. For her, the message is, oh, Aidan is good. Oh, this is actually good what we have. When in reality, it isn't. It's just another detour. Because what she should realize is, well, I'm genuinely struggling here with something. I do not feel comfortable expressing this with my partner. And also, my partner constantly mocks this part of me. And it does not make me feel good. And it makes me feel even more like I need to let go of this if I want to be with him. That's the actual problem. But no, we somehow just find a way to get back in the arms where we feel the more comfort, even though it's just temporarily and it's just like a bandage before it starts ripping off again. And it also just again feeds into this one or the other thing, all or nothing, which is not beneficial. And it's not the message that we should leave watching this, okay? So the show, even the episode, just reinforced again this message. If you're now in a couple, then this other life is not for you anymore. The reality is lying underneath, right? Finding a partner who is compatible with you or at least respects the other side of you. There is no fear of losing your own individuality and being okay with becoming something added to it. Or even if things change, that is okay.
That's the thing about relationships. Sometimes they look prettier from the outside.
But let me know in the comments below how you felt about all of this. What did it symbolize for you the moment she took the ring off and put it on the necklace? And have you ever struggled with your own individuality when you were with someone? And if you did, or if you do, I genuinely hope that the main thing you always keep in mind is to trust your individuality.